Hello everyone and welcome to Manage Engine Applications Manager free training series. Thank you all for taking the time out and being here today. We are in the third part of our free training series where we will be discussing about digital experience monitoring. In today's digital era, most enterprises use a web platform to reach potential customers and showcase the products and the solutions that they offer. Websites have become extremely popular as a medium of establishing a brand image, and they contribute to making a major share of the revenue. Well-planned websites can capture the attention of the right target audience, increasing the probability of turning them into valuable paying customers. Whether you deliver the smooth user experience for your customers or not depends on the performance of your website. So this is exactly what we are going to be discussing today. Now let us take a look at the agenda for today. First, we'll be looking at how we can measure website performance and changes in real time. Secondly, we will talk about how we can proactively identify and resolve potential user impacting issues through synthetic monitoring, followed by how you can analyze real user behavior patterns to gain insights into front-end performance. Lastly, we will discuss how to enhance web page performance to safeguard your brand reputation. Let us get started with the first topic, which is measuring website performance and changes in real time. According to an article published in browserstack.com, 47% of the consumers expect a website to load in 2 seconds or less. 40% of people abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. As a matter of fact, even a 1-second delay in page response can result in a 7% reduction in conversions. If a website is unavailable or has poor responsiveness, end users won't be able to engage with your website's pages or wouldn't want to wait for them to load, which can have a significant impact on your business reputation. Therefore, to ensure the effectiveness of your site, avoid any performance hiccups, and create a seamless digital experience for users, website performance monitoring is essential. Not only does it provide insights into your website's availability, but it also gives you an understanding of critical metrics of your website so that you can work on improving its reliability and make it work optimally. Now, the first step in a digital experience is the interaction that the user has with the website. So when the user tries to access a particular website, it needs to be available. Website downtime and slowness are major causes of concern for businesses. Frequent downtime and slowness can make your site lose credibility among your loyal customers, as well as create a negative first impression on first-time visitors. So what causes website slowness and downtime? First and foremost, we have scheduled maintenance, which is a temporary period during which a website or an app is made offline for updates, backups, or maintenance purposes. Then we have data center problems or server errors. If there is a data center problem or a server error, the request from the user may not even reach the server. Thirdly, there may be bugs in the code, which may cause errors and prevent the site from loading or might cause slowness. Fourth, the website may be experiencing high traffic. If too many people are accessing this website at the same time, the website may not be able to handle that surge in load. Fifth, there may be some hacking attempts made to the website. Hackers may try to pull any suspicious activity on the websites, which can cause the site to go down or become slow. Lastly, in case your SSL certificate expires, that might cause issues among the users and may not be able to trust the site anymore. To prevent problems like this is where Applications Manager's URL monitoring can be helpful. Why URL monitoring? It helps you to ensure 24/7 website availability. It acts as a continuous URL monitoring service that keeps a constant watch over a specific URL or a web page. It helps verify the availability of specified addressable standard HTTP and HTTPS URLs. It helps you to get instant notifications whenever your site is down. If there is a performance anomaly that the tool has noticed, you can recheck the website status to identify and eliminate false positives. You'll also be able to validate HTTP requests and track website response time along with split-ups such as DNS time, connection time, first byte, and last byte time. The response time of a website determines the speed of the website. If the response time is slow, it takes longer for your website to connect and send data package to the browser of an end user. A website without latency can have a good impression on customers and can also help lower the bounce rates too. With URL monitoring, you'll be able to understand your website's first response time along with its last byte time, DNS time, connection time, and so on. This will be a strong indicator of how fast your website is performing to the particular end user. Then you'll be able to quickly diagnose the root causes of issues. You'll also be able to perform detailed content checks to ensure the availability of URLs. Now let's have a quick look at the URL monitor in the UI. So we are now into the UI of Applications Manager, wherein we provide support for over 150 plus applications and servers with categories such as application servers, database servers, web services, cloud apps, and more. Now to add the URL monitor, all you have to do is navigate to the new monitor and click on Add New Monitor. And then navigate to the web server and services category, wherein you'll get a list of all the web server and services that are supported in Applications Manager. And here you will have to click on the HTTP URL monitor. Now clicking on the HTTP URL monitor will take you to the Add Monitor page now, wherein you will have to specify the display name of the URL monitor. Let's say, for instance, we'll mention as test URL here. Now specify the URL address to be monitored. Now for illustration purpose, we will go with the Applications Manager URL here. Now specify the polling interval and the timeout values in the respective fields. You can also choose to add advanced web monitors such as SSL TLS certificate, DNS monitor, brand reputation, website content, and web page analyzer monitors. In case if you wish to remove any of these monitors, you can do so by removing the appropriate monitor types from here. Now under the HTTP configurations, specify the form submission method, whether it's GET or POST. In case of POST, specify the payload type, then enter the request parameters if there are any. Now, in case your web URL requires authentication, you can specify the username and password for the URL in the respective fields, or alternatively, you can select the credentials from the credential list, which will be shown in the drop-down here. Or alternatively, you can do so through the SAML ADFS authentication as well. If you wish to add a new SAML authenticator, you can do so by clicking on the link here. Okay, taking some time to load. Okay, so here you will have to specify the service provider details such as the display name, the redirect URL of the service provider, the form submission method, whether GET or POST. If it's POST, again, you have to specify the payload type and the request parameters in the respective fields. Then specify the custom HTTPS headers and the SSL version from the drop-down. You can also choose to enable the form redirect if required and specify the request binding type and the form name for the same. And now next you would have to enter the ADFS details, which is the Active Directory Federation Services, by specifying the sign-in URL here, the ADFS user credentials, the username and password identifiers in the respective fields, and the response binding type, again, redirect or POST. And then finally, you have to enter the ACS URL, which is the Assertion Consumer Service URL of the service provider. Once you are done specifying all the required details, you can click on Save and the credential will be added. Once you have added the credential, the same would be shown in the drop-down here. You can select and proceed. Now you can trigger an error if the response code satisfied any specified conditions here. Now in this case, you can see that the response code is greater than 200 here. So you can, if you wish to change the condition, you can do so by selecting the appropriate conditions and specifying the error codes of your choice, such as 404 and more. If you wish By enabling the checkbox here, then you can specify the user agent and the custom HTTPS headers in the respective fields. Then specify the SSL version by selecting from the drop-down the client certificate authentication. If it's required, you can enable here and specify the client certificate name by uploading the file and the client certificate password if required. Then additionally, you can perform content checks for validating the URL by specifying the contents that should contain and should not contain the respective fields. If you wish to specify the inputs in the form of regular expressions, you can do so by enabling the checkbox here. If you wish to perform a case-sensitive keyword search, you can do so by enabling the checkbox. Now, finally, if you wish to add the newly created URL monitor to the monitor group, you can do so by specifying the monitor group name here and click on the Add URL Monitor. Once you're done clicking on the Add URL Monitor, you will be able to view the URL monitor in the Monitors tab under Web Server and Services category. You will find the HTTP URL monitor here. Then after clicking here, you will have to click on the monitor name that will be shown here. So on clicking the monitor name, you will get a comprehensive view into the performance of your URL, wherein you can monitor metrics such as the health, availability, the URL address, the match content, which is the content check which we specified in the add monitor page, then the request methods, whether guest or post, polling interval, and more. Furthermore, you'll be able to monitor the performance in the last 1 hour by monitoring the response time, such as the average response time and current response time values. Yeah. Furthermore, if you go down, you'll be able to find the response time split ups in a graphical format, and you'll be able to monitor the metrics such as DNS time, connection time, first byte and last byte times, along with the corresponding average and current values as well. Furthermore, you can also monitor the page size in the last 1 hour, such as the current page size, previous page size, and the page size percentage. Now, if you wish to configure alarms for the attributes here, you can do so by configuring the thresholds. Let's say if your page size goes beyond a specified value, you can configure the threshold limits for the same. If it goes beyond the specified threshold limit, an alarm will be configured. So this is how a URL monitor works in Applications Manager. Now let me switch back to the presentation. Now let's move on to the second topic of the day, which is proactively identify and resolve potential user impacting issues through synthetic monitoring. In today's age of instant gratification, end users expect to be able to enjoy a seamless issue-free experience on your website. Although monitoring the website's availability and response time will give you a fair idea of whether your website is up and running or not, you never know if the users are being able to perform the transactions without any failures unless you understand the website's end user experience. This is exactly where synthetic monitoring helps. So here are a few things that the synthetic monitoring will help you with. First and foremost, it will help you analyze the web page performance from an end user's perspective, which would help you identify issues that might otherwise go unnoticed. It helps you to test the performance of critical user paths by recording complex workflows to keep an eye on important transactions that are taking place on your websites. You can dynamically track website availability and performance for your website from the end user's location. Lastly, it will also help you ensure that your website is meeting your business objectives, and it will provide a complete line of sight on your SLAs. Now let us see how Applications Manager's Real Browser Monitor facilitates synthetic monitoring. Applications Manager's Synthetic Transaction Monitoring feature, also known as the Real Browser Monitor, opens up an actual browser like Firefox or Chrome from multiple geographical locations. It tracks how the elements in a website loads from that particular location, and more specifically, the way your users view them. So this will help you simulate business critical processes via Selenium-based scripting of tests. So the first step basically involves a web transaction recorder in which you will have to record the critical transactions. Every action that we perform while recording, be it hovering, clicking on a particular element, all of these will be seen on a Selenium-based scripting file. Then it runs checks from real browsers such as Chrome or Firefox. Applications Manager then opens up a real browser in which it plays the recorded transaction again to identify in case any error is occurring or not. During the playback, data collection takes place and all performance metrics are then published on your monitoring dashboard. It also lets you take screenshots during the playback in case there are any errors. Now, the main advantage of synthetic transaction monitoring is that you can test your website from multiple locations, be it enterprise branch offices or actual customer locations. To facilitate monitoring from multiple branch locations, we make use of the end user monitoring agents. So this is how the agent works. Say, for example, you're hosting an event in your office and created a registration form for the same. All the employees need to register for this event, which means employees from all your branch offices should be able to do so without any hassles. To test this critical workflow of filling out the form and successfully registering for your event, you can use Applications Manager's Real Browser Monitor. For that, you will need to install the EUM agent in all your branch offices. Then you can record the transaction of filling and registration from your main office. The same transaction will then be performed in all your branch offices using this EUM agent, and then all the data will be sent to Applications Manager. This way, you can check if this particular workflow functions without any errors in all the desired locations. Applications Manager's end-user monitoring agent provides greater visibility into user experience and helps detect potential performance issues with ease. These agents can be installed in multiple branch offices in different cities or in different systems of your end users. All you need is a secured HTTP connection between the agent and your Applications Manager. Now let me take you to how you can add a real browser monitor in Applications Manager. Now let me switch back to the UI. Now to add a real browser monitor, the first and foremost thing you need to do is to download and install a end user monitoring agent or EUM agent, which can be found in this website here. So here you will have to download and install the EUM agent based on your Applications Manager version and the operating system that you are using. Once you are done downloading and installing the agent, the EUM agent's web client will be loaded, which will look something like this, wherein you will have to specify the EUM API key. Now this EUM API key can be found in the Applications Manager console by navigating to Settings under REST API, and you can find the key for the respective end user monitoring here. But you can copy the key here and you can paste it in the EUM agent's web client here. Alternatively, you can do so by clicking on the fetch key, which will again take you to the same page. So once you're done pasting the key, you will have to log into the EUM agent and the EUM agent will be logged in. Now the next step would be to add the real browser monitor. So for that, you have to go to the Applications Manager console. Under New Monitor, click on Add New Monitor. Then navigate to Web Server and Services category and click on Real Browser Monitoring. Now you can add a real browser monitor in two ways. Either you can record web transactions via Web Transaction Recorder, which is specific to the browsers that you are using, such as Chrome and Firefox. And alternatively, you can import Selenium scripts here, which you can do by uploading the Selenium-based script IDE test cases .side file here. By uploading the file and specifying the metrics, you can add the real browser monitor here. For now, I'll go with the Web Transaction Recorder. So for the to record web transactions, you should download the Web Transaction Recorder for specific browsers here, which is Chrome or Firefox, and install it. Once you are done installing the Web Transaction Recorder, you can access the recorder by navigating to the extensions category section here and clicking on the Web Transaction Recorder. Now this will take you to the Web Transaction Recorder UI here, wherein you need to specify the host name, the port of the Applications Manager console, and again specify the API key, which you can find by navigating to the settings REST API and copying the key. So alternatively, you can fetch the API key by clicking from the link here. And you can copy the API key for the applications manager here. It's taking quite a time to load here. So yeah, so here you'll be able to view the API key here. Please note that you will have to copy the API key for applications manager and not the end user monitoring here. So you have to copy the API key and paste it into the web transaction recorder. Once you specify the API key, you'll have to click login. So yeah, on clicking on login, you'll be able to record a new transaction, open a recorded transaction, or import a Selenium script. So for now, we'll go with recording a new transaction here. On clicking the option here, you will be asked to specify the base URL wherein you need to monitor the transactions. Again, for illustration purposes, I'll go with the applications manager URL here. And paste it over here and click on start recording. Once you click on start recording, you'll be automatically redirected into an incognito window wherein the base URL will be loaded there. So once the URL is loaded, you'll be shown with the pop-up at the in the bottom right corner here that the web transaction record is started. So yeah, the web page has been loaded now. So here you will have to perform the required transactions here. Let's say you navigate through the page, you click on any links that is shown here. Then perform some transactions such as hovering, clicking on any links that is shown here, perhaps click on an anchor link, or maybe navigate to a hyperlink here. And then again clicking on any anchor links here, and then perhaps you're going to a schedule demo and fulfilling out the forms there. Once you're done performing all the required transactions, you will have to go to the web transaction recorder and click on stop recording. Once you're done clicking on stop recording, click playback and save, wherein you will have to specify all the required parameters here, such as the page load timeout, the delay between requests, the select browser for test playback, whether it's a Firefox, Edge, or Chrome. Then specify the agent for test playback, which is the EUM agent that you have added already. Then you can choose to block domains. In case you wish to block any domains, you can specify it here. Then if you wish to accept any untrusted certificates, you can enable the option here. Once you're done specifying all the required details, you can click on test playback, wherein it will validate all the transactions that you have performed. In case if it's successful, you can click on next. And here you will have to enter all the required details for adding the real browser monitor, such as the monitor name, the polling interval, the browser for monitoring, again, whether it's Firefox, Edge, or Chrome, then the agent, which is the EUM agent. If you wish to add this monitor to a monitor group, you can do so by selecting from the drop-down. If you wish to show the screenshots of the web transactions that you have performed, you can do so by enabling the checkbox here. If you wish to show some network performance metrics, you can enable the box here and click on Save Monitor. Once you're done clicking on Save Monitor, the real browser monitor will be added to the Applications Manager console. Now to access the real browser monitor, you can do so by navigating to Monitors, under Web Server and Services, and click on Real Browser Monitoring. And by clicking on the monitor name here, you will be taken to the dashboard page of the real browser monitor, wherein you'll be able to view the EUM agents that are present in the present and the real browser monitors that are added. You'll be able to view the monitors here along with the average payload time, transaction time, the health and availability of the monitors. Furthermore, you can also track the step page load time based on the location of your EUM agents with respect to the branch offices in which they are deployed. Now, this is a very useful feature because when in case, let's say your EUM agent is deployed in India and this EUM agent is deployed in, say, United States. In case if the EUM agent in a branch office is not working properly, you'll be able to view the slowness. You will be able to track the responsiveness here, and you can able to take necessary steps to resolve the same. So now you can access the RBM monitor here. So by clicking on the RBM monitor, you'll be taken to the overview page of the monitor here, wherein you'll be able to track details such as the health of the monitor and the availability of the monitor. You will be able to view the average page load time for your transactions, the transaction time, and the page load time of steps in a graphical format, which is color coded in different colors based on the steps that have been performed. The same would be shown in a tabular format below, wherein you'll be able to track the page load time and the health of the steps correspondingly. So furthermore, you'll be able to view the screenshot of the transaction that you have performed, which is the checkbox that we enabled while adding the monitor in the web transaction recorder. You can track the resource size and the resource count, which is color coded with respect to different file formats here, such as HTML, CSS, script, and more. Furthermore, if you drill down, you'll be able to view the web transaction that have been performed along with the status code, the size, the content type, and the page loading time with detailed drill down split up such as the start time, redirection time, and more color coded in different colors here. So this is how a real browser monitor works in Applications Manager. Now let me switch back to the presentation. Now let's go on to see some of the use cases where a business would actually need synthetic transaction monitoring. First and foremost, you will need to compare your performance along with the competitors. With synthetic monitoring, you can set up benchmark scenarios to see how your applications are performing over time. You can also benchmark your company's performance against top competitors within a certain historical time frame or within a specific geographical region. This approach will help you establish a strategic outlook and preserve competitive advantage in the marketplace. Secondly, you'll be able to test out new features. Synthetic monitoring will provide a set of baselines and thresholds that will pinpoint any obstacles one is most likely to face while using the application in real time. Thirdly, you'll be able to assess the performance of third-party apps. Today's websites increasingly rely on third-party features for carts, ads, customer reviews, web analytics, SEO add-ons, videos, and much more to provide an outstanding customer experience. If there is a weak link in any of these chains or one or more of these elements are not working correctly, it can adversely impact your site. So synthetic monitoring can assist in helping you monitor your third-party applications while also alerting you to potential or real-time performance degradations and downtime impacts. This helps tremendously in providing a line of sight on your service level agreements in order to hold the third-party vendors accountable. Lastly, you'll be able to find issues before your customers do. Synthetic monitoring helps you set baseline tests in order to measure the way your customers will interact with your websites. This type of testing can help you get direct feedback on performance degradation or availability issues. It will also help your team locate the root cause, engage the right experts, and fix issues before they impact end users. Now let's move on to the third topic of the day, which is analyzing real user behavior patterns to gain insights into front-end performance. First of all, what is real user monitoring? Real user monitoring refers to capturing user interactions with the website in real time. This helps you analyze how your end users perceive your website. As businesses go digital and global, Their websites are accessed from various devices and from multiple geographies. It is important to provide a consistent user experience across all the geographies and devices, but in reality, the user experience could be impacted by various external factors. This could include network latency, operational hiccups, trouble retrieving requests, resources, slow ISPs, and more. Also, what works in one browser may not work in another. This is exactly where real user monitoring comes in handy. It helps you see why a particular website is down in a particular region and will help you identify whether you have overlooked any issues with your page load time. It will find out where exactly your issue is and will help you understand why the user abandoned your page in the first place. All this information will help you optimize your website performance for the future. To understand why RUM is essential, we must first understand the drawbacks of synthetic transaction monitoring. Synthetic transaction monitoring does not always align with reality. Since the nature of traffic used for synthetic testing is not organic but synthetic, it isn't truly representative of a real user experience at any given time. Its outcome and performance are rather predictable. Because synthetic monitoring uses simulated actions, it does not predict the actions of the real life customers. Secondly, it consumes a lot of time for incident resolution. When you receive complaints from end users in real time, synthetic monitoring will not tell about what exactly the issue the end user was facing. You would have to painstakingly analyze the performance of every business critical transaction and create scripts for synthetic testing in order to uncover possible issues. This can be extremely time consuming. Thirdly, you'll only be able to achieve a narrow view of performance. Since you're not monitoring the actual users, you aren't really getting an idea of how your website is used in the real world. All you have is simply a narrow view of your website performance. So how exactly does RUM work in Applications Manager? To facilitate data collection and reporting, you will need to download and install our Real User Monitoring Agent or RUM agent. The RUM agent is deployed on the server where the web application is hosted. Following that, you need to insert a small JavaScript snippet generated by Applications Manager on the header or footer part of the HTML code of the website that you want to track. If you wish to monitor the web application, you will need to insert the code in the common or index page of the web application that needs to be monitored. Upon loading the JavaScript snippet, it will act as a code that collects performance data and constantly transmits to the RUM agent. The agent communicates this between the JS code and the Applications Manager web client data, which depicts the captured data. With the real user monitoring in Applications Manager, you will easily be able to analyze the front-end performance across several geographies. You will also be able to analyze the front-end performance based on ISPs, browsers, and devices to ensure hassle-free digital experience. You will be able to measure end-user satisfaction. You will then be able to isolate web transactions that contribute to poor user experiences of applications. You can gain comprehensive insights into domain resources and user sessions. Additionally, you will be able to identify JavaScript errors instantly, which will prevent users from reporting service errors. Finally, you'll also be able to analyze and compare the impact of any new changes that have taken place in your web application. Now let's have a look at how RUM agent is configured in Applications Manager. Now let me switch back to the UI. Now to add a RUM monitor, the first and foremost thing you need to do is to download and install an RUM agent, which can be found in the website here, which is similar to the EUM agent that you configured. So you'll have to download the RUM agent based on your application manager's version and the operating system that you're using. Once you're downloaded and installed the RUM agent, you will have to configure the API key for the RUM agent, which you can find under the settings, REST API, and the RUM agent here. So once you're done deploying the RUM agent, now you'll have to move into the Applications Manager UI and add the RUM monitor. To add the monitor, you will have to go to New Monitor, Add New Monitor, and under the Web Server and Services category, you will have to select the real user monitor. So on clicking the real user monitor, you'll be taken to the add monitor page now, wherein you will have to specify the website URL here. For illustration purpose, again, we'll go with the applications manager's URL here. We'll copy the URL here and paste it here, and then specify the name for the monitor. Let's say test RUM here. Then specify the ACDEX threshold, which you feel is appropriate for your web application. Then click on next, and then you will have to configure the agent, wherein you will have to associate the monitor instance with the RUM agent. Once you're done deploying the RUM agent, it will be shown in the drop down here. So if you wish to deploy the agent, you will have to click on the link here, specify the OS, and download the script again to install the RUM agent. Now then after that, you'll be able to view the RUM agent here, which you can select and click on next. So once you click on next, you will have to inject the JS code into the web application. Which you can find it under the monitors, under web server and services, and go to the real user monitor. You will be able to view the script. It will be shown in the first page here. So you'll have to copy the script and copy the JS script and specify it in the header footer part of your web application, mainly in the index page of the web application. Once you're done, and you'll have to launch the application to enable data collection. Once that is done, you'll be able to view the monitor performance metrics here. Now, once you click on the real user monitor here, you'll get a comprehensive view into the performance of your web application. You can monitor details such as the health and availability of your web application, along with details such as the AppDex score, average response time, page views, error count. Furthermore, if you go down, you'll get a view of how your web application is performing in a geographical summary view, wherein your web application, based on the performance of how your application is performing in different countries such as India or US. If you hover over the country here, you'll be able to view details of the country, the AppDex score, average response time, page views, and more. Furthermore, if you go down, you'll be able to view the response time in a graphical format, color coded, along with the drill down details, which is color coded in different colors, as you can see here. Furthermore, you can monitor the page views and the throughput in a graphical format as well. Now, this summary tab is a comprehensive view of how your web application is performing. So if you go navigate to the respective tabs that are shown here, you'll be able to view the drill down details with respect to the specific parameters here. Now, for instance, if you go to the geographic tab, you will be able to view a geographic summary report here, where you'll be able to view the performance of your web application based on different geographies here. If you hover over there, you'll be able to view the details such as the AppDex score, average response time, and more. Furthermore, if you go down, you'll get a tabular view of the response of the performance of your web application in different countries here, along with the AppDex score, average response time, page views, and more. Now we have introduced a new feature wherein you can view the region-wise specific metrics as well for the country. Let's say if you select a country here, you will be able to view the region-specific metrics into how your web application is performing here. So you can view region-wise performance of your web application in Tamil Nadu or Kerala as well. You can further, if you go down and click on the country, you'll be able to view the drill down details as well based on the region here, along with the AppDex score, average response time, page views, and more, along with the response time and throughput in a graphical format. Now, if you navigate to the ISP tab, you'll be able to track the performance of your web application based on ISPs. You can track the response time by ISP here. Now, if you drill down, you'll be able to view the tabular view of the performance of your ISPs, of your web application in ISPs, along with the average response time, total count, and throughput. Now, if you navigate to the browser tab, you will be able to track the performance of your web application based on the browsers that you're using. You'll obtain a graphical view here where you'll be able to see the drill down details, the response time based on your browser, which is color coded in different colors here for Chrome, Edge, and Firefox. If you go down, you'll be able to view the browser usage split up for those browsers, and again the tabular view for the browser summary of your web application based on the browsers here, along with the average response time, total count, and throughput. Again, if you click on the browser name here, you'll be able to view the drill down details here based on the browser version, average response time, and more. If you click on the device type now, you'll be able to view the performance based on the devices that you're using, such as Mac OS or Windows here. You can view the response time based on the device here, which is color coded as you can see here. You can view the device usage split up as well. Furthermore, you can view the top viewport, the connection type, and the device memory in the form of a pie chart, and it color coded in different colors as you can see. And furthermore, you'll be able to view the tabular view of the performance along with the average response time, total count, and throughput for your devices. Again, clicking here would show you the drill down details similar to the tabs which we saw before. Now, each of these parameters will have a drill down detail wherein if you click on the parameter, you'll get a detailed view of how your web application is performing. Now, for instance, if you go into the web pages tab, you'll be able to track the performance of your web transactions in your web application here, along with the average response time, total count, and more. If you click on the transaction name here, you will get the detailed drill down details into the performance of each individual transactions, along with details such as the AppDex score, average response time, page views, response time by split up, and more. You can also choose to sort based on the averages, based on the parameters which are shown here as well. So under the user sessions tab, you will be able to track the performance of web application for respective user sessions that are logged into your web application. You can track details such as the total users, the total sessions with split up such as the active and live sessions, the average viewing time, the average pages navigated, and more. Then under the user sessions table, you'll be able to view detailed views along with the timestamp, the status of the user session, along with the user ID, name, the browser which the user was using, the device name, the country, and the viewing time. Again, if you click on the same, you'll get the drill down details for the same, along with the average response time, redirection time, DNS time, and more. You can view the user experience as well, whether it's satisfied, tolerating, or frustrated. Under the resources tab, you will be able to view the performance of web application based on the first party, third party, and CDN resources. By expanding the domain here, you'll be able to view the performance of the resources based on the resource types such as image, CSS, JS file, and more, along with details such as the average resource size, the response time, and count. This is similar to all the three resources such as third party and CDN as well. If you go to the AJAX calls, you'll be able to monitor the performance of your AJAX call that have been performed in a web application, again, which is similar to the web transactions performance which you saw in the web pages tab. Here you'll be able to view the average response time, total count, throughput, and more, along with the response codes based on the response code types here. So clicking here would give you the detailed drill down view of the performance of your AJAX call as well, which is similar to the web pages tab which we saw. Now under JavaScript errors, you'll be able to view the list of JavaScript errors that were encountered in your web application. You'll be able to view the number of errors that have been encountered, the number of pages that have been affected, the files and the users that have been affected. Then you can view a graphical view of the errors versus affected users here, which is color coded in different colors here, as you can see. Under the JavaScript errors table, you'll be able to see a comprehensive view of the list of errors that have been encountered in your web application, such as the name of the error, the type of the error, the URL in which the error has been encountered, the transaction in which the error has been found, along with the total count. Now, furthermore, if you click on the respective tabs here, you'll be able to view the errors based on the type of the error, the number of files in which the error has been encountered, the pages in which the error has been affected, the browsers that have been affected, the users that have been affected, the domains in which the errors have been encountered. So this way you'll be able to get a holistic picture of how your website is performing to real users, and you'll be able to optimize it based on the same. Now let me switch back to the presentation now. Now that we have understood how synthetic transaction monitoring as well as real user monitoring works, let us see how they complement each other and provide great benefits when employed on your websites. First, they help correlate business with performance. Synthetic monitoring can provide the performance data that will enable you to pinpoint problems with page load time or network bottlenecks. However, if you want to analyze how web performance impacts business revenue, then you need more than just synthetic performance metrics. Since RUM is generated through real user traffic, it provides essential insight into real business metrics such as conversion rates, etc., which can then be correlated with the continuous performance metrics which are collected via synthetic testing. Secondly, you'll be able to identify problems even before active users arrive. No matter where applications are hosted, problems are bound to occur. Synthetic monitoring is the most effective solution to identify a configuration problem caused by off-house maintenance charge changes so that it can be fixed before users begin using an application service in the morning hours. On the other hand, RUM would be a most helpful tool to monitor application responsiveness for each and every live user during the peak hours. Thirdly, it will help you troubleshoot performance outages. Combining synthetic and RUM data can make troubleshooting quicker and easier. When synthetic tests fail to trigger a particular alert, data gathered from RUM will show you the real-time impact of end-user experience. Similarly, if RUM data reveals a performance anomaly, then you can use synthetic data to replicate the issue by exercising the same transaction across the number of ISPs and geographical locations. Collecting data in this particular way will allow you to triangulate from various vantage points to identify the root cause that may lie in the data part between the end users and the application service. RUM and synthetic data can be used to simultaneously verify and deep dive into performance issues. Having said that, let's proceed to the last topic of the day, which is enhancing web page performance to safeguard your brand reputation. So what exactly is a web page analyzer and why would we need it? Synthetic monitoring and real user monitoring will give you insights into the performance from an end user's perspective. Applications Manager's Web Page Analyzer monitoring service will enable you to perform web page analysis, keep track of your web pages, and optimize performance using page speed rules and suggestions. It can help you identify what exactly is slowing down your website. PageSpeed Insights is an online tool which helps you identify performance best practices on any given website. It will help you provide suggestions on page optimizations, and it will also help you understand how we can make your website perform faster. Now, if we have to talk about web page analyzer in a crux, it provides insight into various key metrics that will help you effectively manage web pages. During each poll, Applications Manager loads a web page from on the browser in a cacherless state, and it captures the real-time data of various performance metrics of your web page. So with the help of Web Page Analyzer, you'll be able to track the response time and domain summary. You'll be able to gain page speed scores and suggestions. You'll be able to perform request tracking with the waterfall chart, which displays and tracks the various components that render while loading the web page. This waterfall chart will give you a visual representation of the critical metrics related to each transaction, which helps you identify components that are loading slowly. This way, you can prevent website downtime and slowness and help the website to perform optimally. You'll also be able to manage the SSL certificates of your web page as well. Now let's have a quick look at the web page analyzer in the Applications Manager UI. Now you can view the web page analyzer by clicking on monitors under web servers and services category and clicking on web page analyzer, which is similar to how we viewed the previous monitor types. Now here you will have to click on the web page analyzer here. Then click on the monitor name here. On clicking here, you'll be taken to the monitor dashboard page, wherein you'll get a comprehensive view into the performance of your web page, along with details such as the health and availability of the web page. the per web page summary, such as the page load time, the total request, page size for your web page. Then furthermore, you can track the response time summary, such as the DNS time, connection time, first byte time, and more. Now the difference between the real browser monitor and the web page analyzer here is you can track the start render time and the document complete time as well. So start render time is basically the time taken for the first stage to be visible on your web page, and the document complete time is the time for all the resources of the page to be downloaded completely. So further down, if you can see that the performance of based on the domain summary, along with details such as the number of requests, size, average response time, throughput, and more for your web page. Then if you navigate to the network log tab, you'll be able to view the page load time of your web page, along with the status code, the size in KB, the content type, and the page load time, along with the drill down details such as the start time, redirection time, and more, which is color coded in different colors here. Now, if you navigate to the resource details tab, you'll be able to view the request summary, the performance of your web page based on the file types such as the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, along with the number of requests, sites, and health. Furthermore, you can view the screenshots for the web page, which is similar to the web real browser monitoring that we saw. You can see the screenshot here along with the resource size and the resource count, with drill down details such as for HTML, CSS, and more, color coded in different colors. In a way, you could say this is an extensive version of the URL monitor. Now under the page speed insights, you can view the performance of your web page based on the page speed rules that have been listed here. You can view the page speed score for your web page based on the rules that have been provided here. So you can so if you see for this rule here, the score is 100 and the grade is A, which is a very good score, and therefore your web page is performing fine for that rule. Now, if you have a look at the third one here, the score is 44 and the grade is C, which is a bit low. Wherein if you expand the rule, you'll be able to view the list of suggestions that you need to perform to optimize the web page for this rule. Similarly, you can find it for the other rules as well. So you can learn more about the page speed rules by clicking on the link here. So this is how the web page analyzer feature works in Applications Manager. Now let me switch back to the presentation. So next thing that we have is the brand reputation monitor. As the title suggests, this helps you maintain the reputation of a particular website. This monitor will track and ensure that your brand reputation is maintained by preventing your website from being blacklisted. You will get insights whether the website is identified as suspected malware, phishing, deceptive, or an unwanted software. You will get immediately notified if any of the web pages are marked unsafe. Now let's have a quick look of the brand reputation monitor in the UI. So you can find the brand reputation monitor again by navigating to the monitors tab under web server and services and clicking on the brand reputation monitor. So on clicking the monitor name, you'll get a complete overview into the performance of your website along with this brand reputation by viewing details such as the malware, number of malware, phishing, deceptive, and unwanted software that have been encountered. Here you can get the brand reputation details along with the display name, the web page URL, and whether your web page is suspected for malware, phishing, deceptive, or unwanted software. Since it's shown in green, so there is your website is safe now. So if it's suspected to be a threat, it will be shown in red as shown here. So this is an advisory provided by Google. If you wish to learn more, you can click on the link here. So this is how a brand reputation monitor works in Applications Manager. Let me switch back to the presentation now. Now let's have a quick recap of the topics that we discussed in today's session. First, we discussed how we can monitor individual URLs for better user experience. Then we discussed how we can analyze the issues faced in critical workflows. We saw how synthetic transaction monitoring will help you go beyond the app-only view and how RUM beautifully complements it to help you understand the user experience in real time. Lastly, we saw how we can optimize the web page performance via web page analyzer and brand reputation. Now, thank you for tuning into today's session. You have been a great audience. Have a nice day. Thank you.